If I talk about the Indian market, Indian industry size, so I think it's around 1,300 crore in India as of today, and by 2030 it should be around $1 billion, almost $1 billion. You can say like 8,000 crore. So Indian market is also growing, and uh, lots of brands are coming up in the market, and they are very much aware of the influencer marketing. They understand what it is. Theoretically, they understand, but lots of brands are there who are not able to crack it yet. But they understand that this is the next big thing. So they have to somehow, they have to be in the game. Okay. And the traditional companies also understand that the new age companies are giving them a very tough competition, and if they have to stay ahead of them, they have to focus on the influencer marketing.
Hi, welcome to the Digital Vigyan podcast. Vigyan is a Sanskrit term for science, and that's precisely what this podcast is all about, the science behind digital marketing. I'm your host, Dronacharya Dave, and I'm here to speak with experts from different domains of digital marketing as well as industry segments and learn their opinion on the ever changing landscape of digital marketing. Hello everyone. Welcome to another insightful episode of Digital Vigyan podcast. For this week's episode, I tried to explore a very niche segment of the digital marketing domain, influencer marketing. And to shed light on this affluent segment, I was joined by Mr. Vishal Jaiswal. Vishal runs his own influencer marketing agency, Ercess Live, and was very detailed in explaining the nitty-gritties of influencer marketing campaigns and market requirements. The fact that he comes from an entrepreneurial family background and has incepted several startups before settling with Ercess Live was pretty evident in the fine details he shared with me on the show about how influencer marketing caters to different industry segments. Here's how the conversation unfolded.
Hi Vishal, welcome to the Digital Vigyan podcast.
Hi Dronacharya, thank
Hi.
you, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you for giving out time and being on the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, pleasure is mine.
Right. So Vishal, for the sake of the listeners of my podcast, just wanted to if you can give a brief of your background, what you have done, what you're doing right now. If you can just let us all know a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Vishal Jaiswal. I'm basically from the UP. I'm from a tier 2 city, if you know, Azamgarh near Varanasi. I basically hail from there, and I have done BTech in the IT, and then I started working for lots of IT companies, IT firms, mostly for the service-oriented companies. And so, yeah, that is my background in the software development. I was into front end development and the back end development. Then I became a full stack developer. I also did some work in the digital marketing, like the SEO, SMO, and SMM, social media marketing, and all those things I have done. So this was my background as in my career, and I was always very much interested in the entrepreneurship. College time से ही, school time से ही, I decided
I
I want
think
to become
this is something with engineers, engineering background वाले लोगों के साथ में ये it is something with them that
very common.
technical से होके creative में चले जाते हैं.
या टेक्निकल में एक टाइम तक मजा आता है, उसके बाद फिर वो बोरिंग हो जाता है. After you spend like 7, 8 years, 9 years, na, then you become like, okay, यार ठीक है, चलो जो करना था कर लिया. Let's do something else. Okay,
Let's do
something
something.
creative. Yeah, something
Let's use the
for the
technicalities.
audience.
Let's use the technicalities into making something more creative.
या तो मैंने एक कंपनी स्टार्ट करी थी. अर्सेस वेब के नाम से मैंने एक कंपनी स्टार्ट की थी, जो कि वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट एंड एसईओ का काम करते थे. उस टाइम पर एसएमओ बहुत ज्यादा होता नहीं था, तो एसईओ का काम हम लोग करते थे. एंड Along with that, I started another company called Ercess Education. We built a website only for the students, uh, who want to get an admission in the colleges or any university. तो उसके लिए हमने बनाया था ताकि उनको एक पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाए एक सिंगल पोर्टल पर कि कौन कौन से बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं एंड एज पर योर परसेंट दैट द स्कोर दैट यू हैव गॉट उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपको कौन कौन से कॉलेजेस अच्छे मिल सकते हैं. Then I started to look out for more opportunities कि what I can do, क्या build कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं. So Your Story and Ink 42, yeah, these were my go-to platforms to understand what's basically happening in the startup community and or market में what all the pain points are there. I used to read a lot और वहां से मुझको एक पेन पॉइंट समझ में आया इवेंट मार्केटिंग एंड टिकटिंग का.
Okay.
क्योंकि उस टाइम पर बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स थे लाइक मेरा इवेंट्स, टाउन स्क्रिप्ट, बट वो बहुत सारे इश्यूज को रिजॉल्व नहीं कर पाते थे, मोस्टली द टिकटिंग पार्ट. ठीक है, वो डिस्कवरी इवेंट डिस्कवरी प्लेटफॉर्म्स वर देयर, बट इवन इफ यू पब्लिश योर इवेंट एज एन इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइजर यू आर नॉट एबल टू सेल द टिकट्स टू द मासेस. वो एक मेजर चैलेंज वी सॉ देयर एंड देन वी थॉट ओके लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दैट and we built our own event discovery platform and another event distribution platform. That means if you have one event that you are going to organize, we will distribute it across all the channels so we can sell the tickets faster and within a very tight timeline also. So that we were doing, but we were mostly doing for the B2C events like trekking events हो गया या कोई parties हो गए or any concert and all are there. So those kind of events we were basically catering to. But usme again the scale was not there. Even though the idea was good, but there was no scale. So I understood कि okay, the B2C event is not a big game. Let's move on to the B2B events. So we started to focus on the conferences, expos, trade. So these kind of events we started to focus on, and we also started to sell the stalls for them because they have the
Okay.
stalls, right? So we used to do that, and it was doing quite good. We had the clients from across the world, like we had the client from Dubai, Austria, Hong Kong, even from the Japan and Germany. From all these locations, we used to have our clients, and we used to do the promotion for them. We used to provide all these services like the B2, like the email marketing, WhatsApp posts, or the SMS posts, social media marketing, and we were also giving the influencer marketing as a service. So
Okay.
we saw one thing over there ki we basically used to charge separately for all those things. Okay, they used to choose, okay, I want this email marketing, I want the influencer marketing and the WhatsApp marketing, that's it, I don't want anything else. So they used to pay us for each one of these services. ठीक है, वहां पर we noticed कि they were very much interested into the influencer marketing.
Okay.
And minimum 50 to 70% of the budget they used to give us only for the influencers. Then we understood, okay, that the influencer marketing is going to be a big game. Okay. And during the period of 2021, I got a co-founder also, my friend, his name is Amrit Sagar. He joined me. He was in the Germany and he was doing the MBA in the product marketing and the product management. Okay.
Okay.
So he joined me, and then we again started to work on it. And then when we understood that influencer marketing is something that we can more focus on, and at that time we started to get the brand collaborations also. The brands started to approach us and they tell us ki, see, we don't have any event, but we want to promote our products. Okay. And the brands were like Big Bazaar, Senko Gold. They also came to us and they wanted to promote their stores because they have the stores, right? So Big Bazaar के offers चलते थे, so they used to come to us. Senko Gold के जो ज्वेलरी के showrooms होते हैं, वहाँ पर उनको promotion चाहिए था. They wanted to increase the footfall, so they started to approach us for the influencer marketing services. Then we thought, ki, okay, let's do one thing then. Let's keep the B2B event marketing aside and focus on the influencer marketing. So in October 2021, we started to focus on the influencer marketing completely. So we became a full-fledged influencer marketing agency.
That was a really interesting introduction, and the entire journey you just explained. Ercess, the company that you are running, right?
Yeah.
That's largely into providing influencer marketing services, right?
Yes.
Um, and of course, this is my personal opinion, but I strongly feel that in today's time, amongst all the verticals, all the aspects of digital marketing,
Yeah.
influencer marketing is one which is still, a lesser explored area, right? I mean, a
That's it.
lot of brands, a lot of companies still not sure, how to assess, the entire influencer marketing thing, or how to go about doing it. People do a lot of social media, like there are a lot of social media marketing tactics, and a lot of people do social media marketing. So there is a lot of awareness around it, around email marketing, what it is, how it goes about doing, content is there. But and as you mentioned, WhatsApp marketing and other types of mobile marketing, paid marketings and all. But when it comes to influencer marketing, I don't think people actually understand the nuances of it, right? That what I mean, it's not just about कि अच्छा आपने Instagram से किसी influencer उठा लिया, और you started collaborating with them for your
Hmm.
client or for your own brand. There are a lot of things that goes behind uh, you know picking the entire or designing the entire influencer marketing campaign. So I
That's
was
right.
really interested to understand this thing, that why you out of everything, why you chose influencer marketing. So yeah, that was a very detailed answer, and I think not just me, but my listeners also would also get a clarity of you and Ercess, what they do, and by influencer marketing. But having said that, so we understand that, okay, this was your entire journey and everything. So what I want to understand from you, Vishal, now is, um, when it comes to designing a comprehensive campaign for influencer marketing, how would one go about doing it? What are some best practices? How do you go about doing it?
Okay. So first thing, like you have also mentioned, uh, it's a very small thing that lots of brands have not explored yet. And if you go to areas like Kolkata and all, there you can find lots of traditional companies. They still don't understand what is the influencer marketing, how does it work, how much manpower is required to manage a single campaign. Okay, and how many influencers to work with, and what all the genres or what all the locations we should be picking up, all those things. So there are lots of things that they do not understand. So this is where the influencer marketing agencies come into the picture. So we what basically happens, they just give us a kind of budget and tell us, okay, boss, see, this we want to do this part, and हमें इस locations पर any specific locations if they want to promote their product on, so that location they just disclose to us and ask us to prepare a plan for them. So उस plan में we have to check lots of things like what kind of product it is, or whether it's a product or service, and if it's a product, what kind of product it is, or maybe it can be any event or any store that they want to promote. So all those things, depending on the product or the service, accordingly we have to prepare the plan. So first thing is we need to understand what they are selling and to whom they want to sell.
Right. So
Okay,
understanding
so
the goals, the
yeah,
product, and the target audience. That's
target
the first
audience.
step.
That is correct.
Right.
So target audience, that can be like anything. For example, if you want to sell a watch, okay, for the men category. So there you basically need the male grooming kind of influencers. Okay, because male grooming influencers are basically followed by the male people only, the male audience. Okay, from like any location, it can be like from Mumbai or maybe from Delhi, कहीं से भी हो सकता है. But that will be basically followed by the male audience only. But in some cases, what basically happens ki female influencers can also have lots of male audience. So
Okay.
you can pick and choose such kind of influencers also. I can give you an example of a couple influencer. They are basically creating the content as a couple only. Okay, separate contents also they create, but not like वो बहुत ज़्यादा prominent नहीं होता है. They mostly focus on the couple content.
Couple
So
content.
there also you can promote a watch. Okay, the concept can be anything like the girlfriend or the wife is gifting a watch to her husband or boyfriend. Okay, ये एक चीज हो सकता है, या और भी कोई इस टाइप के आप कॉन्सेप्ट प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो. मे बी बर्थडे पर यू कैन डू दैट, और मे बी मैरिज एनिवर्सरी पर यू कैन गिफ्ट, मे बी ऑन द न्यू ईयर यू कैन गिफ्ट, या फिर वैलेंटाइन डे आ रहा है यू कैन गिफ्ट ऑन दैट. सो ऑल दिस कॉन्सेप्ट यू कैन क्रिएट. सो पहली चीज की व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट, second is what is the target audience, third is where what type of profiles, what type of influencers we can give that kind of audience, that we need to figure out. So that's the third step, कि figure
Right.
out करना कि कौन से
Selecting
influencers
the
चाहिए.
influencers.
That's correct. Okay, now if you have if the brand has any for example location constraint ki okay I want to promote only in the Kolkata, or I want to promote only in the Mumbai, so we need to find the influencers from those locations. क्योंकि होता क्या है
Right.
कि algorithm works like this. If you are if you are an influencer or if you are a content creator, you are sitting in Delhi, तो आपका जो प्राइमरी ऑडियंस होगा वो दिल्ली के ही इन एंड अराउंड होगा.
Right.
ओके, उसके बाद फिर वो दूसरे सिटीज तक जाता है. तो लाइक जब आप अपना इंस्टाग्राम और यूट्यूब अकाउंट आप जब क्रिएट करते हो, सो बेस्ड ऑन लोकेशन ओनली आपका कंटेंट जो है एम्पलीफाई होता है. ओके, लाइक आपने अकाउंट क्रिएट किया एंड यू आर अपलोडिंग योर फर्स्ट वेरी फर्स्ट कंटेंट, तो फर्स्ट कंटेंट आपके नियर बाई लोकेशंस में ये दिखता है, एंड देन धीरे 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 वो आपका ऑडियंस जो है इधर उधर स्कैटर होता जाता है. तो सबसे ज्यादा ऑडियंस जो है वो उसके कोर सिटी से ही होगा.
Right.
उसके बाद भी दूसरे सिटी से हो सकता है. तो वो होता है दूसरी चीज. देन द
Does
नेक्स्ट थिंग,
age also plays a factor?
या एज ऑल्सो प्लेज अ
Like
फैक्टर.
basically depending on the kind of service or the product that we have to market, we kind of pick the influencers from a particular age bracket. Does that also play some role?
Yes, that also happens. Lots of brands say ki, see, we want Gen Z influencers only, or we want influencers within a bracket of 30 to 45 age gap. Okay, तो इस टाइप के रिक्वायरमेंट्स आती रहती हैं, सबका अलग अलग होता है. तो मोस्टली आप देखोगे तो व्हाट बेसिकली हैपेंस कि D2C ब्रांड्स आर मोस्टली इंटरेस्टेड इन द इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग. ओके, उनका जो ओवरऑल जो बिजनेस होता है मार्केटिंग पर ही चलता रहता है. ओके, एंड उस मार्केटिंग में इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग इज समथिंग दैट दे ऑलवेज फोकस ऑन. तो दे ऑलवेज वांट द Gen Z influencers only who are
Right.
very young and या दोस काइंड ऑफ पीपल. सो उनके पास ऑडियंस भी उसी टाइप की होती है, जेजी ऑडियंस ही होती है. तो वो भी सेम चीज है, लाइक क्या प्रोडक्ट है उसके बेस पर आपको किस टाइप का ऑडियंस चाहिए और वो आपको किस टाइप के इन्फ्लुएंसर्स पर मिलेंगे. ओके, अब आपको कोई ऐसा इफ यू वांट टू सेल अ टैबलेट फॉर एग्जांपल, ओके, जो कि मिडिल एज्ड पीपल के लिए, देन यू कैन फोकस मोर ऑन द मॉम काइंड ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंसर्स who are like
More
35
mature,
years old.
for a
Yeah,
more mature audience.
mature ladies or mature men, you can
Man.
focus on them, क्योंकि फिर उनके जो audience होंगे they will also be kind of same.
Right.
So yeah, that is the thing. And then the fourth thing comes ki okay, we have seen the influencer profiles, but will they be able to drive the real ROI or not?
Right.
That we need to then figure out. That's the fourth step. So for that, there are multiple things that you need to look into. First thing can be the engagement rate. we use the engagement rate. That's it's a very popular term in the influencer marketing. If you are doing the influencer marketing and you never hear the engagement rate, that's not at all possible. Okay, it's like a synonym. क्या ठीक है, अगर influencer marketing है तो engagement rate वाली बात होगी. So engagement rate is also something that we need to focus on, because that basically tells ki उनकी audience, the influencer की audience, how much they are engaging or they are not engaging, whether they have the bot followers or they have the real followers. So this is also one thing. Ki
Right.
they can
Ultimately,
have the
that is
bot followers.
right.
Yeah,
Ultimately, that is the one of the crucial factors which is going to define whether the product or the service that we are trying to market is getting that kind of reach or not.
that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. तो उसमें वो होता है तो uh, we use the tools to figure out whether they have the bot followers or they don't have. उसमें बहुत बार होता है कि if they have the bot followers, then we have to reject that. Okay, ठीक है. Even though the the number of followers is huge, but we are not going to get the eyeballs because those are not the real people who are following. Those are the bot profiles who have followed that specific influencer.
How do you go about figuring out the
So there are
bot
lots of
followers and
tools.
okay.
Yeah, lots of tools are there like the Hype Auditor and Affluence. There you can simply enter the username of the influencer and it will tell everything. It will also give you the details of the audience. What is the age group of the audience? What are the
Okay,
primary locations they are from? And how much
the
real
people
followers
who
they
are
are getting.
following that
Yeah,
particular
yeah.
influencer.
Everything you can get. So we use such kind of tools to figure out whether they have the bot followers or they don't have. Once we get a clarification कि ठीक है boss, they have the genuine followers, then we need to understand what is the real engagement rate they are getting. Okay, so engagement rates may lots of things are there that you need to factor in, like how many likes are there on each content, how many comments are there, how many people save it, and how many people share it with the others. So these
Right.
four things are there. जिसके बेस पर you can figure out कि what is the engagement rate. It is basically calculated in the percent. Okay, it can be anything like a 0.59%, 1.2%, 3%, 4%. Sometimes it can go up to 20% also, 20-25% also. But वो बहुत ही rare होता है. Okay,
What
so
is
the
the
industry,
industry standard?
yeah, so industry standard is 3 to 5%.
3 to 5%.
Yes. So if minimum 3% is there, then profile is good to go.
Okay.
या तो ये होता है आपका फोर्थ स्टेप, जहाँ पर हम लोग ये फिगर आउट करते हैं कि वेदर दे कैन ड्राइव द रियल आरओआई और नॉट. एंड देन ऑल्सो वी लुक एट द टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट दे आर क्रिएटिंग and the quality of the content they are creating. Okay, whether it is matching with the client's uh, aesthetics or not. Okay, if it's a massy brand, then the normal content quality will work. But if it's a premium or the sub-premium brand, then the content quality has to be good. It has to be either the DSLR quality or at least it has to be iPhone quality. Below iPhone quality, nothing works.
So, like when we talk about the content type, so is it just video, audio visuals only that you focus more on, or images and photographs also, or any infographic, or any other non-audio visual content also that you use for influencer marketing?
Understood. So, since we already know कि people लोगों का जो एक रीडिंग स्पैन होता है या अटेंशन स्पैन होता है, that is reducing day by day,
Yeah.
right? And nowadays, no one wants to read anything. People want to listen. So that's why the short video is the next big thing, right?
Right.
So Instagram पर भी short video, that means the reel, that works.
Right.
So we always focus on the reels because reels per you can get a huge number of views. The eyeballs are like just huge, simply
Massive.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is not the case in the post, in the static post. Static post वैसा काम ही नहीं करता है. And nowadays, if you look at lots of influencers profiles, you can see that they only create the videos. They don't have
Right.
any pictures. So pictures wala jo game tha, that's the end of the story. Now we are focusing
It's
only on the
diminishing day by day.
yeah. So if I talk about the content types that we create on the Instagram, the first thing is the content itself. That has to be video, where you can basically explain what your product or your service does. Okay. Then second thing, what you want is a CTA, a call to action button. Okay. So
Right.
users or the audience can click on it and take the action, whether they want to
Take it.
purchase the product or they want to avail any specific service. For that, you need the CTA. That CTA basically comes from the story. So in the story also, you need to put either the same video or maybe there you can place a picture also, whatever. Okay. Or you can create a separate, very casual video where you can explain that, okay, guys, this is the product. If you have this kind of issue, you can use this product. It's very good and all. Okay. You can
Right.
create any content like that and you can place a link over there. User can
Right.
click on it and they can purchase the product. So these are the two things that we have to always focus on if you want to really drive the ROI.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I just asked about this thing, but see, I come from a content marketing background myself. So when it comes
Yeah.
to content, I get a little emotional about it. So, so when you say that, it's mostly the audiovisual content which is in demand right now. So is that just for when we talk about influencer marketing, or are you referring that for the overall digital marketing space? Like when if let's say someone wants to create a holistic digital marketing campaign, uh, do you think that audiovisuals are more aligned with the overall digital marketing campaigns, or like for
I think
influencer marketing especially, it's more relevant than
I think it is
what?
relevant for the whole digital marketing because nowadays what is happening, uh, in the old days, what used to happen, आप पहले टीवी पर एड्स देखते थे, राइट? वो एड्स में the brands can feature the actors actresses also or they can feature any normal model also, right? जिसके पास बहुत ज्यादा बजट नहीं है, who cannot afford शाहरुख खान, अमिताभ बच्चन and all, they can find the normal models and then they can go to any advertising agency and they can create an ad, a proper ad. Okay. And for that they used to pay a hefty amount, they used to spend a hefty amount. Nowadays, basically, what is happening? The clients come to us or like any influencer agency, and they just do an influencer marketing campaign, create a very nice video, and use that for the advertisement purpose. Okay, for the advertisement purpose, the kind of profiles they require is called UGC profiles, user generated content. These are the kind of influencers who have a very good content quality, but they don't have the views.
Mhm.
Okay, they don't have views or the engagement rate is lesser, but they have a very good content quality. And sometimes the brands also focus on the face value. Okay,
Right.
like what is the look and feel of the person. Okay, तो कि वो face पर भी बहुत ज़्यादा वो workout करता है. So they focus on the face value also. तो वो उसको लेकर के एंड दे टेक दियर प्रोडक्ट, एक बहुत ही नाइस वीडियो बनवाते हैं, मे बी वो एक डीएसएलआर क्वालिटी हो सकता है या सिंपली एक आईफोन क्वालिटी हो सकता है, एंड समटाइम दे टेक द हेल्प ऑफ अ प्रोफेशनल वीडियोग्राफर ऑल्सो, सो दे गेट द प्रोफेशनल शूट डन, बहुत ही नाइसली वीडियो एक क्रिएट हो जाता है एंड देन दे यूज इट फॉर द एडवर्टीजमेंट पर्पज. And this is basically done by almost all kind of brands, whether it's a perfume brand or it's any cosmetic brand या फिर कोई furniture brand है, whatever, all of them use it for the advertisement on the YouTube, or they want to promote on the Instagram, they want to simply run the ad, they use that kind of videos also. So I think the short video is relevant for the whole digital space, I would say. Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, I think that that's to some extent it's correct also, because uh, even the the current, if you look at the current the statistics around the type of content that we audiences consume. So audio visuals, like multimedia format content, is more than, like, it's somewhere between 70 to 75%, right? So yeah, I think that is, and as you mentioned earlier also, that people slowly and steadily have, over the period of time, have started losing that patience of reading through long
Reading the,
format things
yeah, yeah.
and coming to a conclusion of it. There are still a set of audience, a section of read people who actually prefer reading information, uh, obviously from influential sources,
Yeah.
um, but mostly I think it's the audience that want more of audio or visual, basically,
Mhm.
the kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
content they want to
Actually,
consume.
people want to basically do the multitasking. या
Yeah,
ठीक है एक वीडियो चल रहा है या ऑडियो चल रहा है, आई एम लिसनिंग टू दैट एंड आई एम डूइंग समथिंग एल्स आल्सो, मे बी आई एम इन जिम, आई एम डूइंग द एक्सरसाइज और आई एम डूइंग समथिंग एल्स, आई एम राइटिंग एन ईमेल, साथ ही साथ सुन रहा हूँ. सो दिस इज हाउ बेसिकली people are
yeah,
consuming the content, I would say.
yeah. I mean, you see these days, even the, like, there was a time when coaching classes were in-house, in class studying was more
Yeah.
uh, influential, but today there are uh, teachers who have become influencers by giving online classes. Like Khan sir is there, and that sir from Drishti IAS, he's there. So there's so many people. They have become influencers in their own thing.
Own way, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
You can
yeah,
see lots of
absolutely.
examples are there.
Yeah. Nice. So Vishal, moving on to the next thing. So when it comes to the preparing and executing the entire campaign, influencer marketing campaign, is there is there any difference between, because as an agency, I'm sure you must have dealt with B2B, B2C, D2C, all sorts of clients, right?
Yeah.
uh, is there a difference in the approach or the uh, campaign designing part, uh, or rather, if I have to rephrase that question, which one is more complicated, you would say?
See, in the
Right.
B2C, there are two segments. One is the traditional companies like the Dabur, Hindustan Unilever, these type of old companies. And then we have the new age D2C brands. So these three kinds of clients, I can say, we have
Yeah.
in the market. So mostly the B2C brands only use the influencer marketing.
Okay.
Okay, you can say like 95 to 97% of the total market size of the influencer marketing is consumed by the B2C brands only. And B2B companies, they use very less, but you can think about like if there's any company that want to sell their franchisee, for example, okay, it can be like McDonald's, Domino's, these kind of companies. If they want to sell their franchisee, they can use the business or small business related or some earning related to content creators, so that they can focus on that part. Okay, small business ideas and all these kind of influencers they look for, but the expenditure is very less on that. They all of them mostly focus on the B2C.
Right. I
Okay, they
think
want to focus.
the like, for example, just while you were telling these examples, it just clicked me. Uh, there are a few brands which actually work on both the lines when it comes to B2C and B2B. Uh, for example, if I can think of, if let's say a paint firm is there, like say JSW or Asian Paints, Nerolac. So if they are doing an ad, right? Uh, Now, as a consumer, one would not directly. like if I have to, let's say if I have to get my house painted, I may not directly go to a hardware store and get the paint, but I'll hire a person who's a painter, right? He will get that, but I would know that okay, this is one brand. I know it is a brand, and they've shown it on the television that in the ad that it is a good brand. Ranbir Kapoor is doing an ad for them, and Deepika Padukone is doing an ad for them. So
Yeah,
big influencers are doing an ad for them. But over here, the consumer is actually, maybe a hardware store owner, or maybe someone who's a painter. He's a like a
mm,
freelancer, or someone who runs a home painting services. So they are buying that
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So in some way, that's again a B2B segment, which kind of, not directly, but kind of caters to B2C also.
Yeah, yeah, though they can also influence your decision, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, but see
So
that completely
these kind of brands will be considered under B2B.
that completely depends on their the focus, whether they want
Hmm.
to sell their product they want to show their product directly to the audience, the customers, end customers, or they want to show it to uh, someone who is looking to do any kind of business. Like I gave you the example of the Domino's. Okay, if
Right.
they want to sell their franchisee, so if they want to sell the franchisee, they have to find the business related influencers so they can sell to the people who are basically looking for any kind of investment or who are looking for any kind of franchisee opportunity. But if they want to sell to their audience, they will not sell the franchisee, they will sell the pizza, right?
Right.
So the brand is same, but what they are selling is different, right? So this is how they basically focus on whether they want to sell to the end customer or they want to sell to any B2B customer. So that's how they basically focus on. So coming back to your previous question, the B2B expenditure on the influencer marketing is very less, 2 to 3% or max 4% of the
Okay.
total market size. And rest of the investment is done by the B2C brands only. Or maybe again, taking the same example of Domino's, even if they are using the influencer marketing for their marketing initiatives, they usually sell their pizzas. They want to promote their pizzas. Okay, like recently, if you know, Domino's ने एक नया decision लिया है. They have cut down their prices of the large size pizzas by 50%. Okay, so now they want to promote it. Now they will start looking for the influencer marketing agencies and do a huge shout out. Okay, so they
Hmm.
can compete with their competitors. So in this case, they will again focus on the end customers and they will sell the pizzas, not the franchisee. So that's the thing. They want to mostly focus on the end customers because when the end customers knows कि, okay, this brand exists, it's there in the market, they will actually ask the shopkeepers or whoever is there. Okay, like if I take the example of a pen again, वहाँ पर नेरोलैक है या कोई और ब्रांड है, एशियन पेंट है. तो if people know कि okay, एशियन पेंट एक बहुत ही अच्छा ब्रांड है, they will ask the shopkeepers कि एशियन पेंट है क्या आपके पास. Okay, so that also influences कि okay, the
Right.
customer demand is there, so I have to keep that product in my shop,
Yes.
right? So that's the basically the basic structure of the demand and supply. Demand आता है तो supply generates, या फिर supply अगर ज्यादा है तो भी accordingly demand also generates. दोनों चीजें हो सकती हैं. So that's the thing. Now, in the B2C category, like I told you, there are two segments. One is the traditional companies, another is the new age companies. So traditional companies, they again, if I take the example of Hindustan Unilever or ITC, they have a very huge offline presence. Okay, and that offline presence they have created and nurtured over a period of many decades.
Right.
राइट, ऐसा तो नहीं कि वो 2 4 5 सालों में बन गया. वो
Right.
डेकेड्स लगा. राइट, सो दे आर डोमिनेटिंग द मार्केट बिकॉज ऑफ देयर ऑफलाइन प्रेजेंस. सो दैट इज देयर कोर फोकस कि हमें अपना ऑफलाइन जो मार्केट है उसको बिल्कुल भी काइंड ऑफ हिलाना नहीं है.
हिलाना है.
इट हैज टू बी फर्म, इट हैज टू बी स्टेबल. So they mostly focus on that. But it's not very easy to build an offline distribution channel,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And
Now
that
the
too, considering the geography that India
yeah,
has,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, uh,
Like हर
the
20 किलोमीटर 50 किलोमीटर में कल्चर ही चेंज हो जाता है लोगों
culture
का.
change होता है. Plus, you have to reach to far end areas
Yeah, yeah.
where even mobility is not that
Not there. Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, so like Seven Sisters में ये बहुत बड़ा एक इशू है.
Right, right.
And lots of brands are there. For example, Denver एक मास डियो ब्रांड है, right? And ये नॉर्थ इंडिया में बहुत फेमस है. But when you go to the South India, you will not find it Denver.
Okay,
Okay, तो उनका जो प्राइमरी जो मार्केट है वो नॉर्थ इंडिया में ही है. साउथ इंडिया में कोई लेता ही नहीं है. नाउ इन द साउथ इंडिया यू कैन फाइंड द रीजनल प्लेयर्स ओनली.
okay.
तो ये बहुत ही बड़ा कंसर्न है. इसीलिए बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स होते हैं जो कि दे वांट टू फोकस सेपरेटली ऑन द साउथ इंडियन मार्केट, और दे वांट टू फोकस सेपरेटली ऑन द सेवन सिस्टर्स नॉर्थ ईस्ट मार्केट. सो वो भी एक चीज होता है.
Right,
Now, like the D2C brands are there, so they cannot build their distribution channel. It's not very easy, and that too considering the kind of competition they are seeing in the market nowadays. Okay, आज से 20 years पहले की बात अलग होती थी. ब्रांड्स बहुत कम थे, कंपटीशन बहुत कम था. सो ये सारे हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर एंड ऑल इन सब ने अपना डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चैनल बना दिया. बट if they have to build it today again from the scratch, it's not that easy task. Right.
right,
So that's why the D2C brands focus more on the marketing part. So out of every 100 rupee they spend, 30 to 40 rupees, minimum 30 to 40 rupees, they spend only on the marketing to generate the next set of revenue. So they can again spend on the marketing and
right,
manage the other expenses. Okay. So 30 to 40% of total expenditure they have reserved only for the marketing. उसमें से भी एक बहुत ही मेजर जो होता है, मेजर चंक, वो आपका सोशल मीडिया एंड इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग में जाता है. ओके, they first start with the paid advertisement, but nowadays if you look at the personal care market or the cosmetic market, you can find like thousands of the brands, and hundreds of the brands are opening every day. Okay, like Rene Cosmetics, Voice Skin Science, Pilgrim, lots and lots of brands are there, and old traditional companies are also there. Okay, तो इतना ज्यादा that market is that cluttered कि if you want to sell your product through the Instagram ad or the Facebook ad, your uh, like CPC and other things goes very high. जो एडवर्टीजमेंट आपका पहले 1 रुपी में होता था, आज उसके लिए 3 to 4 rupees you are spending. Okay,
right,
so the cost is just increasing like anything. So they have
right.
understood कि okay, it's not a very easy thing. यहाँ पे पैसे burn करना है and we cannot generate the ROI. So they keep doing that little bit, but they mostly focus on then the influencer marketing, because they know कि influencer marketing में a lot of space is there. Okay, and influencer marketing can literally accommodate thousands of the brands.
Right.
ओके, क्योंकि बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स यू कैन फाइंड, ऑल ऑफ देम हैव द ऑडियंस. आपको अगर ये इन्फ्लुएंसर नहीं मिल रहा है, यू कैन गो विद दैट. ये इन्फ्लुएंसर आपके बजट में नहीं है, आप दूसरे बजट फ्रेंडली इन्फ्लुएंसर के पास यू कैन गो. ओके, सो लॉट्स ऑफ ऑप्शंस आर देयर, you can opt. So that's why they choose the influencer marketing. But when it's come to the traditional companies, they still do not understand the influencer marketing. We have worked with multiple brands from the Kolkata, and they literally do not understand what is the influencer marketing. They say, okay, I have heard a lot about it, but I don't understand what it is. And all of their marketing directors or their senior marketing managers, they are also kind of old thoughts wale people. So they also don't understand what is the influencer marketing. They need the new fresh minds in their marketing department who can really drive the ROI through the influencer marketing. So that's the thing. Mostly
I think for
the
these sect of clientele, we would need influencers to market influencer marketing content.
you can say that. Yeah, yeah. So उनको you know they basically have to learn a lot. And we agencies are there. We are trying to, just do that. Ki, हाँ, if they understand it, they can spend on it. But that's a very slow process, right?
Right.
If they do one campaign and it is not successful, the brand is gone. Okay, they will feel like, okay, this is not for me,
This is
let's
not
stop
working
doing
for me.
it, and we will focus on the things we used to focus on always. Okay, like the banner ads, media buying and all. So they mostly focus on that. तो उनके तरफ उनका जो इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग का, वो बहुत ही मिनिस्कल होता है. Even though they are billion-dollar companies, but their investment is very small, extremely small. Okay, but जो मेजर बजट्स आते हैं वो आते हैं न्यू एज D2C ब्रांड्स के साइड से.
Right. Uh, so moving on, of course, you mentioned during our conversation earlier that uh, looking at the engagement rate is one of the crucial things that
Yes.
look at. Um, but and that but is there, so what I wanted to understand was that apart from this, are there any other parameters that you go to or you look at to measure the success of your campaigns
Yeah.
apart from
Yes. Yes.
engagement rate?
That lots of things are there. First thing is we understand ki what all the things are happening at the end of the influencer. Okay, and what is happening on the website or wherever we want the audience to redirect to. Okay, so जो contents, the content that we basically promote on the influencers account, there we understand कि, okay, what are the reach on that video, okay, and how many views are there. So there is a difference between reach and the views. Okay,
Right.
so if there's one reel, maybe it is reached to 10,000 people, 10,000 users. But all of them, if like all those 10,000 people, if they have watched 3 times that video, then the views will be 30,000. Okay, so there's a huge difference between the reach and the
Right.
views. So we first look at the reach, कि वो क्या था, how
Hmm.
many unique users it has reached to. So
Right.
that is the first thing we understand. Second, if we create a story, for example, again there also we check what were the reach, okay, and how many clicks and all we have done, we have got. So those things we understand. Then the clients, they usually prefer the collaborative posts, and when the content is posted, they basically give a coupon code to track the number of sales they are getting. So
Okay.
usually that coupon code is very, it's like industry standard, you can say. Everyone uses that, like 5%, 10%, 20% of the discount they can give using that coupon code. Or and that coupon code is also unique for each influencer. So we can measure
Okay.
ki har influencer say how much sales they have generated.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what we basically use to understand how much revenue was generated out of how much was the investment. That's what we do.
Right. So, are there any specific tools that you are using for measuring your uh, campaign success, and not just measuring, like overall implementing, planning, measuring, all the three aspects? Any two, three specific tools that you are like, okay, ये तो मेरे मुझे चाहिए ही चाहिए अपने उसके लिए.
Yeah, yeah. So for an influencer marketing agency, what you need, basically what we sell here, we sell the influencer contents,
Right.
right? So to sell the influencers, we need the influencers in storage. Okay. So if you are running an influencer marketing agency, the very first thing you need to focus on is the data. How many influencers data you have with the contact details, the email address, or maybe their address also. Okay. Because whenever there's a brand collaboration, basically the brand sends out a product to the influencer, and they take the product in hand and then they accordingly do the shoot. तो वो
Right.
प्रोडक्ट उनको भेजना होता है, तो उसके लिए यू नीड द एड्रेस ऑल्सो ऑफ द इन्फ्लुएंसर. सो बेसिकली यू नीड द डेटा ऑफ द इन्फ्लुएंसर्स in a segregated manner, because there are multiple categories like the food, फूड में भी एक होता है सेफ वाला होता है, और दूसरे आपके फूड ब्लॉगर्स होते हैं जो कि प्लेसेस पर जाते हैं एंड दे कैप्चर दी फोटोज ऑफ द फूड आइटम्स,
Right.
राइट. देन यू हैव द ब्यूटी and lifestyle, fashion, and then the fitness, travel, lots of categories are there. Then you have the gender also, male or female, or maybe third category also you can put, like for the kids also you
Transgenders.
have a, yeah, trans also you can have separately for a kids. You can have the faceless accounts also. So all those
Okay.
kind of profiles you can have. तो आपको डेटा बहुत ज्यादा रखना होता है, सेग्रीगेट करके रखना होता है. And the whole influencer marketing, this game is played on the data only. Okay, so if you don't have the data, you cannot run the agency. It's very simple thing. Okay, तो data generate करने के लिए you need to use the tools. So there are plenty of the tools that we also use. For example, the IG email extractor that we use if you want to capture the data of any influencer, any specific influencer, along with the email ID also. And
Right.
then we use a tool called Phantom Buster. That's an automation tool. If you want to fetch a list of the contents, or if you want to fetch a list of the influencers, that also you can get. Okay, so these are the two very prominent tools that are there in the market. Now, if I talk about the tools for the measuring the campaign, then you can use the tools like Hype Auditor. You can use the Affluence. These are very prominent tools, and you can basically rely on the data that they are giving to you. क्योंकि
Okay.
जो भी tools बनते हैं, whatever the tools are there in the market, those are basically developed by any developer or maybe any company. Okay, सब अपना अपना एक लॉजिक लगाते हैं कि
Right.
okay, if the bot profiles, if they want to figure out, everyone has their own way to figure out कि whether it's a bot profile or not. Okay, तो जो मेजर कंपनीज है, फॉर एग्जांपल हाइप ऑडिटर या अफ्लुएंस, दे आर वेरी मच ट्रस्टवर्दी. ओके, दे आर वेरी ओल्ड प्लेयर्स, और उन्होंने अपना जो बैकएंड का एल्गोरिथम है, वो एल्गोरिथम उन्होंने बहुत ही फाइन ट्यून कर लिया है ऑलरेडी. तो उनके डेटा पर यू कैन डेफिनेटली फोकस ऑन. बट बहुत सारे ऐसे भी टूल्स हैं जो कि आपको बहुत ही उल्टे सीधे डेटा देते हैं. ओके, सो यू नीड टू बेसिकली स्टे अवे फ्रॉम दोज टूल्स. तो या ट्रस्ट
Mm,
वर्दी, आई वुड से कि ये दो हैं जिन पर आप फोकस कर सकते हो.
right. Right. So, Vishal, before we end our today's discussion, uh, I want to know from you, where do you see influencer marketing going from here? Like what it is today, how it is getting operated right now. And from here, how do you see it getting more evolved in, let's say, coming 5 years, 10 years down the line?
See, the market size of the influencer marketing is increasing day by day, I would say. If you look at the global market, so right now the global market stands around 14 to 15 billion dollars. Okay, and by the end of 2030, this industry will grow to up to 140 billion dollar. Okay, so in the 7 years, we are expecting it to become 10x of what it is today. And if I talk about the Indian market, Indian industry size, so I think it's around 1300 crore in India as of today. And by 2030, it should be around $1 billion, almost $1 billion. You can say like 8,000 crore. So Indian market is also growing, and uh, lots of brands are coming up in the market, and they are very much aware of the influencer marketing. They understand what it is. Theoretically, they understand, but lots of brands are there who are not able to crack it yet. But they understand that this is the next big thing, so they have to somehow they have to be in the game. Okay, and the traditional companies also understand that the new age companies are giving them a very tough competition, and if they have to stay ahead of them, they have to focus on the influencer marketing. So uh, the TV ads is slowly it's decreasing, the market is decreasing. Okay, because nowadays people have the smart TV. कोई ऐसे टीवी बहुत ज्यादा देखता है नहीं, एंड जो भी थोड़े बहुत एड्स आप देखते हो वही है, वहाँ बहुत ज्यादा कुछ है नहीं. मोस्ट ऑफ द
एक्सेप्ट अगर
पीपल,
इंडिया पाकिस्तान का क्रिकेट मैच चल रहा
या इंडिया पाकिस्तान का
हो.
क्रिकेट मैच वो चल जाएगा. या फिर लाइक आवर पेरेंट्स, दे वॉच द टीवी लिटिल बिट, बट
Yeah,
हमारी जनरेशन नहीं देखती है. राइट, हमारी जनरेशन, दे मोस्टली फोकस ऑन द नेटफ्लिक्स और द यूट्यूब.
yeah,
सो दे लुक एट द एड्स that the new age companies are creating and circulating. यहाँ पर all the traditional companies, they are basically lagging behind. So they are also planning a very huge amount of investment in the influencer marketing. तो ये जो मार्केट है ये ग्रो ही करना है. राइट, सोशल मीडिया ग्रो कर रहा है, तो सोशल मीडिया पर आप इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को ही फॉलो करते हो. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली, you
yeah.
focus on, you mostly consume the content of any influencer only, or maybe the meme accounts or anything as such. uh, तो उनके ऑडियंस जो है, दैट इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीजिंग डे बाय डे. सो एक कहावत है ना कि जिसके पास ऑडियंस है वही किंग है. राइट,
Right.
इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैव द ऑडियंस, सो दे आर द किंग. That's why they are earning a huge amount. Okay,
Yeah.
आपने देखा ही होगा बहुत सारे हैं जो कि now they have the BMWs और Ferrari they have bought, right?
Hmm.
So वो सारा
At the
उन्होंने
age of at the age of 23, 24,
2025, yeah, so
जब
they are
हम
doing
लोग
like
सिर्फ स्ट्रगल ही कर रहे थे कि नौकरी कहाँ मिल जाए,
नौकरी
रिज्यूमे
कहाँ मिल
इधर
जाए.
उधर दे रहे थे अपना.
Correct. So that's the thing,
Yeah,
that Gen Z have a very different mindset.
yeah.
They are basically the short video content consumer.
They are the
Okay,
quick generation.
या एंड जितने भी पुराने ब्रांड्स हैं या नए ब्रांड्स हैं, दे अंडरस्टैंड कि ठीक है, जेंजीज पर वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन, बिकॉज
Right.
उनको साइड रख के वी कैन नॉट ग्रो. सो
Absolutely.
इफ दे हैव टू फोकस ऑन द जेंजीज आर द वीडियो कंटेंट कंज्यूमर, so definitely the influencer marketing has to grow without any doubt, I would say.
Right, right. No, absolutely. I agree. Uh, Vishal, this was really nice. It was very interesting, very informative, and so much insightful, right?
Thank
So
you.
once again, thanks a lot for being on Digital Vigyan. It was a pleasure having you on the show, and I hope that maybe someday in future again we can have you
Yeah,
again
definitely.
for another insightful episode. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about maybe some things that we couldn't touch base right now. But again, thanks a lot, Vishal.
It's
Thank you for
really nice
joining.
talking to you, man. Really nice. Thank you.
Thank,
Thanks a lot for me being
thank,
here again.
Thank you for tuning in. If you like the podcast, please do subscribe to my channel on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast.